Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Character Arcs. This time around, we're going to be focusing on Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man. This will be focusing only on the first Iron Man movie put out in 2008. So once again, I hope you guys enjoy it. Tony Stark's beginning character is just the perfect definition for billionaire playboy. He's arrogant, intelligent, rude, just not a good guy, but he's very charismatic. He has that going for him. Tony's story really starts when he is testing weapons in the Middle East and he is captured and enslaved by terrorists. So these terrorists force him to build a weapon from scraps of his others, and through this he's forced to confront the consequences that his weapons are making it to the other side, and due to this fact, he's now on the receiving end of all these weapons he's made. While making this weapon in the cave, he also makes the Iron Man Mach 1. So, he builds it in a cave with a pile of scraps, as someone says later, but he's helped by another captured scientist named Yinzer. As they try to escape, Yinzer dies, and it really adds a sense of loss and consequences to his previous actions with the weapons. The death of Yinzer forces him to confront his actions, and this leads to him shutting down the weapons program as soon as he returns to the United States. From here, this is where we get our first sense of morality coming from Tony Stark, compared to how apathetic he was about the consequences of his weapons earlier on in the film. Later on in the story, he builds the Mach 2, and decides to personally take responsibility for his weapons by going out with the Mach 2 and saving an Afghan village that was under attack by terrorists. This shows how he is making this very personal and getting things done himself, just showing more of his morality. Tony is later betrayed by his business partner, Obadiah Stane, and he directly steals the reactor straight from Tony's chest and discloses that he locked him out of his own company. This leads to Tony feeling manipulated and betrayed, causing him to lose trust in others and become heavily reliant on himself. This becomes very evident in future films. Soon after that, they have the big bad superhero fight with all the flashy effects. But in essence, the real thing is that Tony Stark sees the Iron Man as a way to ensure peace, whereas Obadiah Stane sees it as just another weapon of war. But this also shows Tony how these things can be manipulated for various purposes, and that he should be reliant on himself to ensure that peace is carried out in the future. After Tony Stark wins against Obadiah Stane, we see he has become much more responsible for the things that he has created, but now he's also much more aware of how others could take advantage of him in the future. This leads him to becoming very self-reliant, as I said earlier, with a few exceptions. But it shows his transition from an apathetic billionaire playboy to a caring individual.